Everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me today. This is Jonna with Purple Girl Crafts. Today we are going to be making this accordion card. As you can see, this card, it will pop out when it's displayed. It measures about 5.5 by 6, 6.5, so it's a little bit smaller than a normal size card, and it does lay flat for shipping. I did draw the frogs and do the sentiment on the computer. So let's just go ahead and get started. So we'll need our scoreboard. And for our first piece, this will be the base piece. This is going to be 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. We'll lay a layer on top of that, and that'll be 4.5 by 5.5. Then we will need one piece. This will be cut at 3 by 5. While we have this here, we're going to put a mark right at 2.5 in the center of that piece. And then we're going to turn it and we're going to put a 1/2 inch mark on just one end on both sides. So you should have your 3 marks just like that. And we'll work on this piece in a little bit. Next, we will need one piece or 2 pieces, and these are going to be cut at 2 3/8 by 4 1/4. And those will be for the inside of the mechanism. Then we will need one piece. This will be 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. I'm going to flip that over, and I'm going to do the same thing and put a mark in the center at 2 3/8. And we'll set that aside. Next, we need 2 pieces, and these are going to be 4 1/4 by 10.5. Now, we're going to put a mark on these also. We're going to go in 1/2 inch, but we're going to go from each side. So on the first one, do 1.5, and on the second one, mark it at 2 3/4. So they're on opposite sides. So just like this. And we're going to fold these. You could score these, but we're just going to fold them because it makes it just a little bit easier. So we're going to take these and just fold it in half. Make sure your lines, your sides are lined up. And crease it out. And then you can fold this either 2 ways. You can just take your outside piece and fold it back towards the fold. Make sure it's lined up, and then crease that out. Flip it over and do the same exact thing. You just want this in 4 equal parts. So just like that. So that's the first one. On the second one, I'm going to do the same thing, just going to fold it in half. Crease out that fold. Now this time, we're going to fold it on the inside. If it's easier for you, you can line up those fold marks. So just line up so it's in that crease. And then just push down on it and crease it out. So either way works, whichever way is easier for you. Or again, you could have scored this, but I just thought this would be easier. And then you just want to go ahead and crease out those 2 folds again. And you want to make sure these are going in the same direction. If you had a pattern paper, you'd want to make sure that you also are lining up your pattern. All right, so those are the 2 pieces that will be for the accordion. So we'll move those to the side. Actually, we're going to do the cut. So, and I know I'm going to be off camera on here. I just realized it. So on here, you're going to score from that mark we made down to that last score line, not to the end of the paper, just to the 3rd score mark. So you'll have a piece that looks like this. So just from your score mark that you made, and then down to that last score line. Let me just move my trimmer up so you can see. So I'm just going to go down and then just score it or cut it just like that. So you have 2 pieces that are opposite but identical. So when they fold, they'll look like this. This is how the accordion is created. And these will sit on the card just like this. All right, so set those aside. Now what we're going to do is the other piece that we did, we're going to line this up and we're going to cut this. So I'm going to cut from that line we made, or the dash we made, to that center point. And you're going to do that on both sides. And this is of the same background paper color. Then we're going to take the polka dotted paper, and it's that little piece. We're going to line it up so it's on the right side. Actually, I probably should have turned this over and did it the other way, but we're just going to line it up and then we're going to do our marks where we want it. And then with this time, I'm going to line up that line, not on my track, but on that line next to it. So it's just about 1/8 of an inch further in to where it's going to cut. And you want to do that on both sides. And then this piece will fit on the top of here, just like that. And that'll be for the front of the card. So we have those. Right now we need to do it again on the other two polka dotted pieces. So I'm just going to show you how this is going to lay out. So the card will sit like this. And so we need to do these two polka dotted pieces, and they're going to go on the white on the inside of the second panel. So they're going to sit just like that. And then this one will sit right in there. So you want to do the same thing. We want to cut out that edge. So I'm lining this up so I've got an even border all the way around. And then I'm just going to put a pencil mark and just cut that. And again, we're going to go 1/8 inch lower. So I'm not going to put that line on my track. I'm going to put it on that line next to the track. And then just cut it. And as you can see, it will fit perfectly. Oops, if I get the right one, it'll fit perfectly right in there. So now I'm going to take the other one. I'm going to put them so that the pattern paper is together. And then I'm just going to draw a pencil mark again. This time we're going to cut that right on the line because now it's the exact measurement that we need. Now we have our two pieces cut for the inside. So we don't need our trimmer, so let's move that out of the way. And again, so these will fit in the card just on this side, and then the other one will be on this side here. And that's how they'll sit in the card. And you could have done more. You could have done another pattern on some of this. I just wanted to get the basic part of the card done and see how it would look. All right, so now I'm just going to glue that one panel to the front of the card. So this is a layer that goes on the mat. Making sure I have my even border all the way around. And then just pushing that glue out. So for the two center pieces, I'm not going to glue those pieces on yet. We're just going to lay these down. You want to make sure that they are touching in the center and you've got an even border all the way around. So you just want to make sure it clears before you glue this down. So it does. So I'm just going to leave one of them on there. We're going to put glue on the back of this one panel. You could use your tear and tape if you wanted to in here, or just, a tape runner would be fine. So I'm going to hold that one in place, and I'm just going to lay this one down again next to it, making sure they're lined up and they're even. We've got that even border all the way around. That way you don't have to do any measuring. You just make sure that they fit, that they're even, and then it'll be good. And then just secure that piece down. And then we'll take the other side and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to glue that. And then turn it over and line it up right next to the other one. Perfect. So that is the start of the accordion piece. This one doesn't interlock like some of the other accordion cards do because you have your back panel that helps to support it. So now we're going to put those two pieces on, and they're going to be in the center. Put this one down, make sure it's glued, make sure it looks good, it's even. Yep, that looks good right there. All right. So that is that part. So now for the front, we're going to take that other piece that matches the back side. So this light green color, and we're going to glue this to the front right here. So we're just going to put glue on this entire piece. This would be good where you would use just a tape runner or something. But I do like to use my glue. So I'm just going to press that down, making sure it's flat, and then just make sure I've got an even border all the way around. Then this piece is going to get glued on top of this one. Now again, you could have, in between the two layers, you could have put another patterned paper or something. I just kept it pretty simple. And then we're just going to make sure this is lined up. And then just go ahead and push that glue out. So that is the basic mechanism for a card. This can be decorated in so many different ways. You could have balloons coming out of it for a birthday. It would be so much fun to decorate this. All right, so now for my decorations, I've got my frogs that I drew. So I'll put the greenery right here. And I just want to make sure it's not over the edge of the side of the card. And then we'll put our big frog on this first panel. We'll put one down at the bottom. Kind of maybe at an angle, almost like he's in the little brush. And I like to make sure that I'm laying my pieces down and just lay them out, making sure they look good before I glue them down. I also have my sign that says, "You are Frogtastic." This I did print just on the computer. And then I'll put a frog in the back. All right, so now that I know where I want these laid out, I'm just going to glue just part of the body on the front. I did put him at an angle. I thought he looked better that way. And I'll put one in the back. And I'm just secure them just a little bit. And then we'll do the greenery. Put that on the front. And then again, we'll put the frog in. I think I want to put him just a little bit lower and cut just a little bit off the bottom of him. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut just that little bit. So just so it's flat with the edge of the card. And then we'll put our other sentiment, or our sentiment right here. Make sure it's lined up. And on this, I did put the piece I used on the very back, on the back of that. So that is it. That is the card that we made today. I want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. If you don't follow me on Facebook, please do so. I'll be giving some more designs away this week. Until next time, happy crafting, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye-bye.